everybody, and welcome to the Maurice Brown Comedy Show on Bog Radio. This is the NFL edition on Radio QDX out of Blue Common, North Carolina, and KCHF TV 11 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is the NFL edition of Bog Radio. Let's welcome our usual panel of suspects to the Maurice Brown Comedy Show, starting with Aaron Too Tall Moore. What's up, Aaron? What's going on, bro?
How you doing, sir?
Good to see you. Good to see you. And Antoine A.S. Stewart. What up, Stu?
What's up, fellas?
What's up, brother? Good to see you. And we have a lot of football to break down today. It's playoff time. The regular season is over. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we will be joined by nephew Caleb Lopez a little bit later on, but it is playoff time. This is what it's all about right here. And the games this week, we're gonna dive into the games this week, but we look at some of the finals over the weekend. And were there any surprises for you, Stu?
I think the Giants beating Philly was a shock for some of us. Definitely with Philly having something to play for, they were playing for their number 2 seed. In a way that they lost, I think that was the biggest shock of the week for me.
I would have to say the Philadelphia Eagles were a huge shock, and we're going to talk a little bit more about them in our NFL headline segment. Aaron Too Tall Moore, any surprises in the final week 18 of the season?
I think I'm gonna go with Stu on the same thing. The Eagles, not just the loss, but the way they lost. I think the way they lost is just the way they roll into the playoffs is not good. They look like they're going downhill to me.
Yeah, they look pretty bad, and I think the other surprising shocker. I don't know if I would go as far as to say as a shocker, but a surprising result that the Titans knock out the Jags. Your thoughts on that particular game and the Jaguars missing postseason, Stu?
Yeah, it definitely showed a lot, as far as a team, knowing that, you needed to win that game to get in. And we know the Titans are better than what they played this year. They usually are, a pretty hard-nosed team, controlling the ball with the running game and everything, and Tannehill not making a lot of mistakes and them squeezing out wins, and definitely with that defense. But they got a chance to play spoiler, and a lot of times if a team is out and you got a chance to knock another team out, you can get up for those games, and they were able to. And Jacksonville showed that it's better probably that they weren't in the playoffs, even because they couldn't get up for a game that they needed to get in. So better luck next year.
Better luck next time. Aaron, your thoughts on the final results of Jacksonville? They missed the playoffs. They started out 8-3. All of a sudden, can't get it going. Even Trevor Lawrence getting injured added to the pain. Your thoughts on Jacksonville not making postseason?
Yeah, I think people expected them with how they started out last year. People expected them and started how they ended last year and started out this year. People expected them to, of course, make the playoffs and probably push for that AFC championship spot. But I mean, am I surprised? I'm not surprised because Tennessee does play teams hard, and Mike Verbal, he has his teams hard. Now, I would say the surprising thing is that Tennessee fired Mike Verbal today. That right there, to me, was a shocker that they let him go and start from scratch. But I like Mike Verbal. He always has his team, like Stu said, he always has his team ready to play, and I'm sure he's gonna get picked up quick.
Well, listen, you hate to see anybody lose their job, but I can understand Tennessee, showing him the door. It's like, dude, you're good for 3 weeks. You're horrible for the next 4. They're up and down all the time, Tennessee, and to try to sell me that Ryan Tannehill is a starting quarterback in the NFL is the biggest offense that you can make. If I were a Titan fan, I'd be offended. If you're trying to tell me that Ryan Tannehill is your guy.
I don't think I don't think he says. I think he was still looking for a quarterback. In my opinion, I mean, thank God he had Henry. Shoot, the year they went to the championship game, Henry ran for about 2,000 yards that year, I believe. But I mean, I think he was still. I don't think Mike Verbal was saying Tannehill was his guy. I think he was still trying to find that guy, and you could see that with the quarterbacks he's been drafting. It's just none of them had panned out to what they needed to overcome.
Well, he'll have plenty of time to find a quarterback now because he'll be on the street. And so the other shocking result, it really didn't have anything to do with either one of these teams going to the postseason, but the Jets beating New England 17-3. What does this say about Bill Belichick and his future, Stu?
I think that's definitely the talk of the town in New England. Whether he's going to stay or they're going to get rid of him, or a similar situation to Pete Carroll, to where he's going to leave the head coaching position and get another position up in the office somewhere, but stay with the organization. So I don't really think too much of the score. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything from Zach Bailey. They definitely need a quarterback, and they definitely need a revamp that team from top to bottom, and starting at the quarterback position on down to the getting some talent in that building, getting a coordinator who can scheme up some stuff. But that's all. I mean, I don't. For me personally, it doesn't really take anything away from Bill Belichick as far as the caliber of coach he is. He doesn't have the same product on the field, and they definitely by drafting that quarterback, that was definitely a bust. I think that was one of the bigger busts. I think that's even, to be honest with you, a bigger bust than the Jets quarterback. What's his name? Wilson. Yeah, because they were hyping. Wilson was kind of solidified in the second spot, but Patriots were hyping, not the Patriots. The media was hyping the Patriots quarterback the whole time. He had on roster. Anytime you have two wide receivers go before you in the draft, you got to know the type of talent that they had on that team. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what Mr. Kraft decides to do moving forward. But either way, I think Bill will be okay.
Aaron, to tell more your thoughts about the future of Bill Belichick.
I thought Bill Belichick may have been okay if Mike Verbal didn't get fired, because Mike Verbal is a Patriot. I mean, he played for the Patriots. He won the Super Bowl with them. He loves the organization. He knows the organization, and I mean, it's just it looks like it makes sense. If you want to make a move from Bill Belichick, why not bring in Mike Verbal? Like, it makes sense. The timing is right. The Titans let him go. Bill Belichick getting older. I mean, if you could, sell to the fans and other people. I mean, Robert Kraft could do what he wants. It's his team, but you kind of sell it like bringing in Mike Verbal. I mean, I think that's the only move to me that would make sense for letting Bill Belichick go.
Another shocking, and I would say not shocking, but I think surprising again. The Cowboys over the Commanders 38-10. You expected that to be a game. I mean, that's always a game. But in this case, it looked like the Commanders just, laid down. Ron Rivera was excused from his duties, which was justifiable. It's been a long time coming for Ron Rivera. And since you're the Commander fan, Aaron, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the final result in the nation's capital this past Sunday.
Well, they didn't lay down. Commanders didn't lay down. It was I believe it was tied 10-10 at halftime. But when you're playing with second and third stringers on defense. I mean, what are you going to do? Half the guys out there, nobody. I didn't know who they were. So, I mean, you only could do so much. They played the starters the whole game, probably until about 3 minutes left into the fourth quarter. But it's an error. I mean, Ron Rivera is who he is. I mean, he only had really one great season the year they went to the Super Bowl 15-1. It's time for him to move on. And but I'm gonna tell you, everybody in the NFC right now, get ready because we coming. Like Deion say, we coming. We got Josh Harris who knows what he's doing. He's hiring people to make the right decisions. And trust me, we're going to have a winning product in that field, and the NFC better watch out.
Okay. Well, I know that, DC is very, very popular for that very phrase. It just it started out. The Senate started out with the British. So Stu, what are your thoughts on the way the Commanders finished the season and Ron Rivera being shown the door?
I think we all knew that Ron was not going to finish out the season. But what I think is going to add to the mysterious of the situation, the mystery kind of is who's going to be the next head coach. I think that they hired Eric Bieniemy with the intentions of him being that guy, making him not only the offensive coordinator, but the assistant head coach. But I honestly feel like, just watching the way the offense has performed over the past few weeks or since he's been there, I think they're kind of scratching their head. I think that he's going to have to interview for the job just like everybody else, and he may not get it. And, I don't know.
He won't get it.
So
It's a 100% thing for Ron. For Eric.
So we want to slide over into the NFL headline segment, and I want to start it out with this final score right here, with the Giants kind of really slapping the Eagles around 27-10. And the bigger question begs, how do we explain the sudden apparent downfall of the Philadelphia Eagles? And if they lose to Tampa, do we have an official issue in Philly, or do we already have one? Stu?
Most definitely. They got an identity crisis right now. After the 49er game, they haven't been the same team. They were already showing that, they weren't showing the dominant form that we saw the previous year, but they were able to win those games. After the 49er game, it's like I saw a different team out there. That last minute heroics and pressing get a close game, get the win. I haven't been seeing that lately, and I don't know the health of Jalen Hurts. Marcus Mariota played more snaps than he did in that Giants game, so I don't know where he is 100%. I don't know if that was just a choice to rest him because they're already in the playoffs, or what's really going on with him. It seems like he's been playing with a lingering injury over the past few weeks, so that'll be definitely a something to watch moving forward. But they definitely need to wake that team up and get ready for the postseason, because that would be unfortunate for them to be one and done in the playoffs.
Aaron Moore, your thoughts?
This all has to do with scheme. It's hard to move forward when you lose your offensive coordinator and your defensive coordinator. Shane Steichen is the head coach for the Colts, and Jonathan Gannon is the head coach for the Arizona Cardinals. It's hard to they got head coaching jobs for a reason. And when you lose both of them, and then you trying to different play call, that obviously the people who they got in there now, they're not calling the games the same. It's a difference. They're not scheming up the same as they were. So that has an effect on you. That has an effect, and we're starting to see it right now. I don't believe it's the players. I don't believe, because they basically have the same players that they had when they went to the Super Bowl. them two coaches leaving hurt them. It's simple playing like that. That's the reason why they looking the way they look right now. They was fine in the beginning of the season, but as I always say, the league will catch up with you. It catches up with coaches and it catches up with players. And if you cannot adjust, it's going to show. And them coaches better find something to adjust quick, or it may be a one and done in the playoffs.
Well, I would agree with you. I think not more than 5 weeks ago, we were crowning the Philadelphia Eagles as the toughest team in football, and they were able to get away with it for about 11 weeks as they stood at 10-1 at one point, 10-2, stout, but they were showing signs, and the questions were being asked: how long can they win these tight games? And they were winning it on pure toughness, but you could see the results of, as you alluded to, the lack of their coordinators not being there. You could see there was something wrong. There was some rust showing, but they were winning. So we just assumed, hey, it's all good. They're going to wake up, and they're going to be the Philly that we all know. And not only did that not happen, they became a shell of themselves like that in an instant. And now I do believe that Jalen Hurts is injured. And he's a tough guy, and he's not going to complain. And he wants to be that guy to fight through and, win, and talk about being hurt later when it's all said and done. But I do think he's injured. He's not running the ball as much as he was before. He's not a pocket quarterback, and yet he's staying in that pocket. I think it was week 12. I forget the team they were playing. Maybe you guys can help me out on this, where he got hit pretty hard, and it took him a minute to get up. And he wasn't walking straight for the rest of the game. He finished the game, but I don't know if you guys remember that. I think it was a week 11 or 12, and I don't know if it was against Dallas. I forget who it was. But he got hurt pretty bad in that game, and he has not been playing well since. I think he's injured. Nobody's going to cry for you, though. There's a great play out there called "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina." Okay. Well, okay. So we're not going to cry for Philly, and we're not going to cry for Jalen Hurts. The game is the game. Either you can get it done or you can't get it done. Nobody's going to cry for you.
I think that's when they played the Bills. It
may have been Buffalo, and he got hit pretty hard, and he had difficulty responding from that. And as Jalen Hurts goes, so do the Eagles. You talk Nick Sirianni, and you can talk about all these coaches you want to. Jalen Hurts makes that team go. And on the other side of the ball, when the defense realizes, hey, Jalen's not himself, they start backing up, and you start seeing the weaknesses that they've always had on defense. And then you start losing confidence and all those different things. And now you got a snowball effect building in Philadelphia, and they got to go to Tampa Bay on Monday night on the road. It's a good thing they're not going to be in Philly, because beer cans be flying all over that place. So it's better go on the road. I won't go home right now. So, and it's going to be a tough game. We're going to talk a little bit more about that game and the other playoff games more in depth a little bit later. But I want to switch over to Josh Allen, who's another quarterback that I think is struggling and has been all year. And he does from time to time. And I'll throw the question to you first, Stu. Is Josh Allen showing us that he's just a good quarterback, but not the great one we thought he was?
Yeah, I think a lot of people use that term "great" too soon. Great has always been the standard of winning, being associated with it. Not who's the most talented guy in the room, but who has the talent and also can win. And he hasn't shown he could do that in the postseason yet. He may win a game, but the big games, the one that is going to take you to that next level of greatness to put you in the same talks of Patrick Mahomes, he hasn't taken that step yet. We all know he's a talented guy. He's definitely not on his top game right now. Thankfully for him, they've been running the ball more, taking a lot of the pressure off of him, because him and Diggs seem like they're not on the same page yet. He's been missing some wide open shots with Diggs that usually were home run balls, touchdowns. So He definitely needs to pick it up because it's not going to get any easier moving forward. They're going in there against a Steelers team that could upset and win that game. They're a well-coached team and they're playing good ball right now. And in the postseason, it's not always the best team wins, and it's one and you're done. It's not the NBA, so they can easily go in there and lay a goose egg, and the Steelers can move forward. So definitely, the spotlight is on Josh, and if he wants to be put in that category with the other greats, he's going to have to tag along winning when it counts in the postseason.
I think when you look at Josh Allen, you're looking at a great talent, a guy with a rifle arm. He can run. He's a physically imposing guy to try to stop once he gets going with the ball and running upfield. You don't want to hit him. But I get the sense that Allen is not a great reader of offenses, and he gets confused a lot. And that's why you see the picks or the missed throws, because he's really not sure what he's looking at. But I posed the question to you, Aaron Too Tall. Is Josh Allen just a good quarterback and not that great guy, that great QB we thought he was?
I mean, I'll tell you one thing. I think it's 31 other teams that would love to have him as their quarterback.
Yeah.
Washington being one of them. I would love to have him.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think you need to be great to win a Super Bowl. Is he playing his best? No. And that's the great thing about it. He's not playing his best. I mean, we seen him at an MVP level, and that's why he's getting scrutinized so much. But I think he may be getting in his head a little bit. He may be trying too hard sometimes, especially quarterbacks, because they got the ball in their hand every play. They press, and when you press, you miss reads, you make mistakes. So I think if they can, just try to take a little pressure off of him, run the ball a little bit more, try to get Diggs involved early, get him comfortable. I think he's gonna be okay. I mean, do they have here's the question, really. Do they have a great enough team for him just to be good and not great to get where they want to be? And I don't know. He may need to be great to get where they need to be, which they trying to get to the Super Bowl. So can he? I mean, he's been up and down this season, but I guess we're gonna find out.
Well, to your point, there are a ton of teams that would love to have Josh Allen, and he's a good quarterback. There's no question about that. But we thought he was great. We thought he was one of those Dan Marino, Jim Kelly kind of guys, John Elway, with the great Joe Montana. We were ready to crown him. We put him in that elite class of current QBs of Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers and guys like that. And I don't think so. I'm not seeing that from him. I mean, I think the Buffalo Bills are a good team as well, and they need Josh if they're going to have a chance to ever win a Super Bowl. But I don't know that Josh can get him there. I'm looking at a quarterback that looks confused in the pocket. Great arm, but that guy's letting that thing fly into triple coverages. I mean, he's throwing the guys that are not open, and it's like, why did you throw that? Now you throw it to the other team, and they're wide open. So I'm looking at Josh, and I'm just seeing a guy, to me, that is not confident about what he's seeing from the pocket. But no, a good quarterback. And on any given Sunday, if you catch Josh at the wrong time, he will obliterate you. You don't know what you're going to get out of Josh Allen, which is why I just call him a good QB at this point. I'm not going to put a crown on Josh's head yet. He's got to win a Super Bowl. But as I say that, I want to lean into our next NFL headline, because as I said, he throws picks to open guys. He did everything he could possibly. Also in the Miami Buffalo game, he had a strip sack, fumble, and 2 picks that he gave away. He did everything he could possibly do to give the game to Miami, and they still wouldn't take it. So you look at the Miami Dolphins, and you talk about a fraud of all frauds. It poses another question for me in regards to the quarterback play and Tua Tagovailoa. Is he becoming the reason the Dolphins can't break through? Stu.
He's definitely a part of it. When you look at the game and you look at the numbers, and he's definitely a part of it. Defensively, they struggle. They struggle to make adjustments. But everybody knows the blame always goes to the quarterback. When you winning, usually the quarterback is the guy who gets the most props, and then when you losing, the blame goes there as well. But he hasn't been putting up the numbers that I'm accustomed to seeing from him. So I don't know what's going on there offensively with and to be honest, I definitely had the Chiefs. I know I'm maybe jumping ahead, but I have the Chiefs beating them. They're not playing. I know that even without receivers, Mahomes is great, so he has another level that he's going to kick it up into in the postseason. And if you're playing the way that Tua and the Dolphins have been playing lately, you're going to get beat. He definitely needs to find whatever it is he needs to find. He needs to find it and get it together, because this is his chance to show that he's more than just a average quarterback in the NFL.
You've got Tyreek Hill, you've got Waddle, you've got a really great running game. And I'm leaving out some really quality receivers that he has also in his repertoire to throw to. But when they get up against teams that apply pressure, and it's not so easy. And again, he has to think through schemes. He has to know what he's looking at out there and get the ball out quick. And he doesn't do that. It's like when he loads up, the DBs know exactly where he's going to go with the ball. It takes him forever to load up and let it fly. Got a great arm, but if I know where you're going to go, if you're telegraphing your throw, I'm picking that thing. Aaron Too Tall Moore, is Tua becoming the reason the Dolphins can't get it done?
I mean, he's part of it. I mean, of course, Stu said, you playing well, you get the glory. You play bad, you get the blame. But he can't stop people from scoring. But I think he has to depend on Tyreek Hill a little bit too much sometimes.
Oh yeah.
So he has to understand if teams, which they are, going to focus on Tyreek Hill.
Mm-hmm.
He has to find to get other people involved, like Waddle, and just get other people involved. You can't keep focusing on Tyreek Hill, and when that breaks down, which I've seen this year, when teams double Tyreek, he kind of struggles, so he has to find a way to get out of that. And for him to, especially going up against the Chiefs, because they a different team. Well, we're going to see if they're a different team in the playoffs this year. But is he a reason? He's part of the reason, to answer the question.
So I'm going to switch over to another headline, which doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the playoffs, because neither one of these teams are going. The Saints beat the Falcons 48-17 in a playoff implicated game. But there was a situation that occurred in that game. Now, the guy that's the star of this unfortunate show was a guy, and I knew something was wrong with him when he stole a bucket of crabs after he won. I knew something was wrong. I said, this dude, there's something wrong with this dude, and so now you get into the victory formation. Jameis Winston is the guy we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. He comes in for some cleanup work, and you're in victory formation. And he decides he's going to call a running play for his running back. He needs a touchdown. He needs a TD, and I'm going to help my man out. And so you get Arthur Smith fired for all intents and purposes. He's probably going to get fired anyway. But my question to you, Stu, is did Jameis Winston seal his fate as a backup for the remainder of his career. He'll never start for another NFL team by his classless decision to call a scoring play in victory formation.
I don't think it sealed his fate. When I think it was maybe not the best decision, but at least they were united. All 11 guys, they loved it, and that's kind of what matters at the end of the day. The bad thing is he did disobey his coach by getting that running, and I'm pretty sure he asked. I'm pretty sure he said, "Hey, he didn't score. Let's get him a touchdown." He was like, "No, the game is over." And he did what Russell Wilson should have done, is run the ball, even when your coach tells you not to. But I think that with the right situation, some quarterback whisperer, he might get a shot. You know how that goes, even being backups. That's how usually backups get their shots. Usually it's someone goes down and you have to be that guy moving forward, and you show that you can do it. Winston has always been a talented quarterback. It's just his ability use in his career. But I think similar to what Pete Carroll did, to that quarterback room, to where they took a backup guy and made him the guy, and he actually performed decent. I think he might get another shot in this league. Backups, you're only one play away from being the guy anyway. So I think he'll get another shot, but
So, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Maurice Brown Comedy Show NFL Edition with Aaron Too Tall Moore and Antoine A.S. Stewart. And we're talking about Jameis Winston and his decision to go for a touchdown in victory formation. Now, Aaron Too Tall, you played ball in college as a tight end. And, I can say this, it's an unwritten rule. You don't do that. I mean, if you're in victory formation, man, take the knee. Have some game's over. You just don't do that. That's like, being up by 40 and you decide to shoot a 3 at the end of an NBA basketball game, or just go down and do a gorilla dunk, just because you could do one and you're up by 40. I mean, there are certain things in sports you don't do to the competition. Now, if you want to get a touchdown for my man, let everybody know, hey, we're running a play. This is not victory formation. Let me know what you're getting ready to do, and it's all good. That would still have been classless, but it would have alleviated the pain if you just said, yeah, we're going to try to get a TD. Mm-hmm. Aaron Too Tall, your thoughts?
I'm not upset that he wanted to give his guy a touchdown who haven't scored all year. Like you said, Mo, I think what's the thing is that you did it in victory formation.
Yes.
Like allow him and the team to earn it. Because I think he would feel a better certain way saying, okay, they tried to stop me, but I still got the touchdown. Now, whatever the coach called in, and whatever, they could talk through the headset. I would have been like, Coach, I'm trying to give my guy a touchdown, so I'm gonna run this play. If he say no, and he still do it, Jameis probably saying he getting fired anyway. So what?
Well, Jameis certainly would likely say he get fired anyway. But
did he seal his fate for a bat? Nah, I don't think so. Because I think coaches understand why he did it. Was it wrong to do it in victory formation? Sure, it was. But I think the reason behind it, he cares for his guys. He
may not have worked.
I know what it was. Hey, Aaron, I know what it was. My man said, man, let me get this TD, James. I give you a bucket of crab. I got a bucket of crab for you, dog. Anyway, we're going to move on from that and look at our next NFL headline. Russell Wilson actually was told, or you mentioned Russell, Stu, the Broncos have apparently left the door open for Russell Wilson to return. How should Russell feel about that, Stu?
It's one of those things where if I'm Russell, I'm like, I will politely decline. I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
Unless they're moving on from Sean Payton. I think the writing is on the wall. Sean wants to pick his guy.
Yeah.
I think they were just doing it just because of out of respect of the caliber of player that Russell is. But the way things transpired at the end, I think he's gone. He's like, the way that you guys treated me at the end, which was smart on the team's behalf, because if he got injured, they've been on the hook for a lot more money. But it was kind of like the tossing and the back and forth of the marriage of him and Sean, and not doing well, starting off rocky, and winning some games, and then falling back off. And it's just kind of like, you want to be on a team that wants you. You want to be with a head coach that you're his guy, and he is not Sean's guy. So I think that that's clear as day, and that he won't be there next year, even with the open invitation.
Aaron Too Tall, you remember the berating that an all-pro like Russell Wilson took from Sean Payton on the sidelines in front of all of America, and then benched. And now they're saying in Denver that, Russ, you can come back. How should Russell feel about that, Aaron?
It's certain players, and I believe Russ is one of them players where you treat them a certain way.
Yeah.
Now, Sean Payton did not want Russell Wilson, and the way he was benched and yelling at him on the sideline. Actually, Russell was playing well at the time he was benched.
Mm-hmm.
He was just looking for a reason just to get him on the side, not to play him. But you just bring. I don't know why is it so difficult just to bring him into this office and say, Russ, I appreciate what you did with the organization. We're moving in a different direction. Just be up front with him. Be up front. It's certain ways, certain players. I never forget. It was Jimmy Johnson. I believe it was Jimmy Johnson saying it was he didn't name the player, but it was a player who was a walk-on. And he cut him because he was sleeping in the meeting room.
Yes.
And there was another player who was a star. He was sleeping. He told him to wake up and pay attention.
Right.
You deal with players, you deal with different players certain ways. And
Yes.
Russell was that guy that you shouldn't have treated him like that. And should he come back? No, he shouldn't come back. I believe he already tweeted out that that guy got better things for him in the future, which means to me that he's not going to be a Denver Bronco next year.
Well, I would agree with him. They deserve Jason Stidham. They deserve him. And he should let them know that. Jason and whoever the other backup is from the practice squad. We are going to switch over and look at these NFL playoffs coming up this weekend. This is the exciting part of the show for me. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Maurice Brown Comedy Show NFL edition on Bog Radio, Radio QDX, also in Lucama, North Carolina, and also KCHF TV 11 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're going to take a look at some of these playoff games that are going to be going down this weekend. We're going to break them down, starting out with the AFC Wildcard on Saturday. We've got a couple of AFC showdowns, starting with at 4:30 Eastern Time on NBC. The Cleveland Browns come to the big state of Texas to take on the Houston Texans.
Man,
what a way to start the weekend. Stu, your thoughts on this matchup?
In my personal opinion, this is one of my favorite matchups of the week. This is going to be a great one. The way Cleveland has been playing with Flacco and that defense, the way Flacco's been tossing it around the yard, and we all know what Houston has done this year, surprisingly with a rookie quarterback who I think is the rookie of the year, and CJ. And man, either way, I think we're going to get a great show. CJ, he doesn't quit. He doesn't give up. He always, this year he's put his team in a position to win. And we know Flacco's a vet. We know what Cleveland's going to bring. They feel like they got a shot to. I think if Cleveland wins this game, it's on, because that's the one team that I think the Ravens do not want to see in the postseason, because Cleveland has their number this year, in my opinion. But yeah, man, I can't wait, man. It's going to be a great game.
So, Aaron Too Tall, the question is, can young C.J. Stroud at home in Houston fend off the Cleveland Browns. Here they come, Joe Flacco and company, looking like an AFC power. Does Stroud have a shot against the Cleveland Browns?
Does he have a shot? Yes. Are they going to win? I don't think so. I believe Cleveland. Cleveland going to come in there and wreak some havoc. They have a lot of veterans on that side. They got Joe Flacco playing well, and I just think at the end of the day, with that Cleveland defense, is going to make the young kid make a mistake, and he turnovers hurt double time in the playoffs. So I think that defense gonna have something for him, and I think he might even struggle a little bit. But yeah, I got Cleveland in that.
Yeah, I think that, as you said, Stu, this is going to be a really, really good game to watch. I think Houston got a gift from the Colts, who actually had a great shot maybe to be here instead of Houston. So I just think that, young CJ's got nothing to lose. Come out there and let that thing rip. One of the more exciting. This is just going to be a great playoff weekend, and we're going to kick it off, like I said, on Saturday at 4:30 on NBC with Cleveland and Houston, and then later on that night at 8:00 on Peacock, the Miami Dolphins travel to Arrowhead Stadium to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. They're talking like it's going to be like 4 degrees out there. Does Miami have a shot in this game, Stu?
They got a puncher's chance, but I'm going with the Chiefs unless Miami turns on the light bulb, to flick the light switch on, and they start clicking with the amount of talent they have, because they do have the offensive firepower to get it done. But I'm going to go with the savvy vet and Patrick Mahomes to get it done against a struggling Miami team, unless they find some way to get it riled up. But I think the Chiefs will go ahead and take care of business.
And I heard they told Travis's girlfriend, Taylor, they said, look, Taylor, we love you, but you can't come in. Anyway, look, Aaron Too Tall, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
Why did they put this game on Peacock?
Yeah, I don't know why they would do that.
I think the NFL, I think the NFL messed up on that one. But
no, because Peacock's gonna make a lot of money. I mean, it's just everybody gonna watch this game. Okay, here's the money. I'm gonna watch the ball game. Yeah, everybody's gonna be there. This is all about money, Aaron.
I would say this. Now if they let me stream it for free and watch it, I'd do that. But I mean, why would you pay for one game? I don't know. That's just me.
Well, but, Taylor Swift's going to stream it. But anyway, go ahead, Eric. Go ahead,
bro. I like Kansas City, man.
Yeah.
Especially at home, I don't think Miami's going to come in there and be able to hang with them in that cold weather.
Yeah.
And I also like how Kansas City starting to running the ball late in the season.
Yeah.
And I don't think Miami going to be able to hang with them, even though they still, the receiver core kind of shaky for Kansas City, but I still like Kansas City in this one in Mahomes.
Yeah, I like Kansas City. I don't think the Dolphins are going to have a shot in that cold. It's tough enough when they're able to go surfing. I don't know how they're going to make it in this cold. So I'm going to go with Kansas City, and then on Sunday at 1 p.m. on CBS, Pittsburgh takes on Buffalo. Stu, your thoughts?
It's going to be a tough game. Pittsburgh is going to come ready to play. We all know Buffalo are the favorites. They're ready. They're the more talented team. But Pittsburgh is a hard-nosed team that's well coached. And if Josh has one of those days where he gets to throwing 2 picks and stuff like that, and they get to struggling, it could be a long day for Buffalo, and we could be having this discussion again about Josh Allen and his greatness, or what is he going to be moving forward. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Buffalo at home, but I wouldn't be surprised at the least if Pittsburgh found a way to get this win.
I'll tell you right now, he goes out there and plays against the Steelers the way he did in Miami, he's going to lose to bucket.
Yeah,
that I can tell you. Aaron Too Tall, your thoughts?
I hope I hope Pittsburgh could pull the upset. But it's gonna be tough. I love Danny Smith, the special team coach. He is actually a great individual. But I'm rooting for Pittsburgh because of him. I hope they could come in there and steal a win, but it's gonna be tough in Buffalo, man. It's gonna be tough, man. And I'm not sure who's starting at quarterback. Is Rudolph starting at quarterback for Pittsburgh?
Yes, he is.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a veteran. I think Buffalo going win it. But like you said, if Josh Allen doesn't play well, Pittsburgh has a chance. So yeah, but I think Buffalo going upset. I'm not upset Pittsburgh, but pull it off.
I think on paper there should be no problem for Buffalo to annihilate the Steelers. But you get the up and down play from Josh Allen, and he allows any team to be in the game. But I'm going to go with Buffalo. I think Buffalo should win this game. Now, we switch over to the NFC Wildcard weekend, and that will begin on Sunday at 4:30 on Fox as the Green Bay Packers travel to the great state of Texas to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Stu, your thoughts?
How about them Cowboys? I think that we know on paper Dallas should win, but again, you know, Green Bay's hot right now. Y'all been playing some great ball. If Dallas come in there faking, thinking that they just gonna steamroll over Green Bay, I think they got another thing coming. And the one thing that Green Bay has been doing that edges you guys in a position to beat the Cowboys, if you have been running that rock. Aaron Jones, he's scoring over 100 yards a game right now. So I think that it's not going to be an easy walk in the park for Dallas, and that Green Bay could definitely pull that upset.
Well, you know, this is a situation where Aaron Jones is healthy now. He's been hurt for most of the season. I think for the last 5 games he's been healthy, and he's averaging something like 120 yards on the ground, 170 in total offense per game, and maybe in the last 4 or 5 games. It's made it a lot easier for Jordan Love. Your thoughts on this matchup at 4:30 on Fox Sunday, Green Bay versus Dallas, Aaron Tuto?
Oh man, I would love to see the cheeseheads come in here and get an upset. And I would say this: I hope Aaron Love has the best game of his career, because he's going to need to, and they can, and like if Dallas doesn't come with their ears peeled back, being serious about this game, and I will say this: if Green Bay keeps it close, Dallas tends to get nervous and things start to happen. So as long as Dallas keeps it, I mean Green Bay can keep it close going into the fourth quarter, I think they have a great chance of pulling the upset.
Well, I think as a Packer fan, I'll say this. You know, we've already accomplished everything we could hope to accomplish. We're in the playoffs. We have no business here. Somehow, some way, Jordan Love turned his game up to another notch. He's got 18 touchdowns and 1 pick in the last 10 games. Mm-hmm. He's thrown for over 4,000 yards for the season, second most touchdown passes to Dak Prescott, of all people, with, I think, 32 TDs as a rookie. And the first rookie of the 3, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, to get his team to the playoffs in the first season. We have no business here. I don't know how in the world we did it. I don't know how we did it. So all that being said, when Dallas looks at an inferior team, and that's what Green Bay is, they're an inferior team, and they're young. They're the youngest team in the NFL. Mm-hmm. They normally destroy them in Dallas. And I fear that's exactly what's going to happen. You know, Jordan Love is young. He's never seen anything like this. The playoffs are a different animal. and you're on the road, and he's going to be like, "What is this?" And so I think that the Cowboys will probably blow them out. That's what the Cowboys do with inferior teams. The Packers are inferior, but we'll see what happens. Later at 8 p.m. on NBC, the LA Rams in possibly the game of the weekend against the Detroit Lions. Stu, your thoughts?
It's one of those games where to me, this is a 50-50 ball game. I would say Detroit has been playing a little bit better ball, but I trust the quarterback in LA better. I trust Matthew Stafford and company better. They've won a Super Bowl together. He's won a Super Bowl in that jersey. They have the talent on the outside. They have the coach. Running game is starting to pick up a little bit. Aaron Donald and company rested this past week, so they should be ready to go. It's definitely going to be a big test for Detroit, who has definitely been up and down and not showing up in big games. The Rams are coming, and they know what it takes to win a Super Bowl. There's a lot of people in that building that have a ring, so they're going to give it their all. And if Detroit does not come with their best, they will lose this game. So I'm picking the Rams.
Oh, yes, sir. Aaron Too Tall More.
Yeah, it's kind of a coin flip on this one. I could see this going either way. But yeah, if the Rams, I would say if the Rams can get that running game going and keep Detroit off, keep Hutchinson from pinning his ears back and getting to Stafford. I think the Rams have a good chance. I will say this: if Detroit gonna try to hit the edges with that running game, because they ain't gonna be able to run straight up in the middle. But if they can hit the edges with that running game, which they're gonna try, I think that's gonna be the key for Detroit in this game. But I like the Rams in this one, man. I'm going with my man Sean McVay. I mean, I love Sean McVay. But yeah, I'm going with my man. I'm going with the Rams.
I have to go with Detroit in this game, but you could very easily pick the Rams. I would have no problem with it. I think that not Matt Stafford, but Jared Goff has to have a clean game. And when the stakes are high, he doesn't play clean games, and it's going to be rabid at Ford Field. So it's going to come down to whether or not Goff can keep the mistakes down. And if he can do that, I like the Lions. They're very good when he plays a good game. Their defenses can back him up. And I'm gonna bank on the fact that crowd will push Detroit through this one because they want to see Matt Stafford sent back to California for the year. You go home and you stay there. Now, on Monday, Philadelphia takes on Tampa Bay. Your thoughts on this one, Stu?
I'm calling for the upset. I don't know. I'm feeling that upset vibe, man. I think Philly may be done for the year. I know Baker, he's above average or average quarterback, whichever category you want to put him in. But the thing that I've been focusing and paying attention on is that Tampa Bay defense. Them boys been playing lately. And they can make things for a struggling Philly offense. They can make things real tough. And you got a lot of Super Bowl winning guys still on that defense from the Tom Brady era. So they're going to make it tough for Philly, man. If with Philly struggling and with Jalen Hurts not being 100%, I think the Tampa Bay is more than capable of pulling up an upset against a wounded dog in the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, that's going to be a rabid crowd down there in Tampa. Make no mistake about that. And it's going to make it that much more challenging for Jalen and the Eagles to get this W. Aaron Too Tall More.
I'm going for the upset. I like Tampa Bay in this one, man. Baker Mayfield has been playing very, very, very well. I mean, he's been playing lights out. And so I think Tampa Bay may be able to if they could slow that offense down, if they don't let Philadelphia get rolling and get comfortable, I think they could take this one. I like the way Baker's been playing. He's been playing with confidence, and I like Tampa Bay defense as well. So yeah, I'm going with the upset in this one. I'm going with Tampa Bay.
I'm going to go with the Eagles. I don't think Jalen and the boys are going to go out like this. They can't allow this. I think they have too much pride to go out this way by losing their first round to a guy and a team that really has no business at this party at 8-8 or 9-8, whatever it is. They have no business at this party.
Mm-hmm.
So I just can't see the Eagles not mustering up enough pride to say, we're not going to let this happen. Just on pure pride and guile alone, not going to let this happen. And to your point, Aaron, Baker Mayfield has played well enough to beat a team that's not ready. Like, if you're not ready, he will beat you. He's proven it all year. But I just think the Eagles have too much pride to go out like this. I'm going to go with them. That's going to be at 8:15 on Monday night on ABC and ESPN, the Eagles and the Bucks. We're going to get out of here on that note. Great show, guys, and want to thank Radio QDX out of Lucama, North Carolina, KCHF-TV out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, and also Bog Radio, the star of the show, in association with 24 Flicks. Thanks a lot, guys, for being on the show. This is going to be a great weekend of football. Can't wait to get at it. And as always, may the peace of Christ be with you and your families. God bless.